So months have passed now since the announcement of the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, and I've used these phones extensively as my daily driver since the 25th of February, done amazing camera comparisons with them and used it extensively. And I wanted to kind of share my thoughts and my review of the S9 and especially the S9 Plus since I've had it since the day of announcement, and what my thoughts are of this phone as one of the phones of the year, arguably. Now let's start with one of the things that makes the S9 Plus a great complete phone, which is the overall build and design. It's a glass-on-glass design with a metal frame in the middle, and it's something that's a bit controversial to me. I do prefer an all-metal design, but glass-on-glass does add functionality of wireless charging. It's something that is curved edges, that is what we're used to from what we see with the S7 Edge, and it's been refined. There's slimmer bezels at the top and bottom, which arguably you would not notice as very minute, but it all adds to the aesthetics and also the rigidity of the product as well. From the front, what you're looking at is one of the best displays in the market. This is a 6.2-inch quad high definition plus display at 2960 by 1440p Super AMOLED resolution display, and it's almost a placebo effect where we expect Samsung every year to be able to improve and bring the best displays on the market, and they definitely haven't disappointed with this display. The display is vibrant, it's sharp, it has great contrast, and it's also vivid. One of my most favorite things that I like, I consume a lot of media such as YouTube videos and so many other things, and it's phenomenal to be able to have such a display at your disposal that you're going to use all the time, and it's amazing. This is one of the things that makes Samsung the best on the market when it comes to displays. Yes, do I wish there was a high refresh rate model that could refresh at 90 Hz or 120 Hz? Absolutely, because I think that would be absolutely killer for things like mobile VR, as well as just the speed and immediacy in the UI interaction. And it's something I experienced on a Razer phone that I'm still wanting. High refresh rate, Super AMOLED, OLED panels, and I hope that's something that they can do in the future. But nonetheless, what you're getting with this display is one of the best on the market. Now let's talk about the camera reimagined. This is one of the things that they were hyping and they were toting on this phone, and it is actually something that does really well and it performs. I would definitely say this is one of the most versatile cameras that you're going to find on the market. You're looking at a dual lens 12 megapixel camera setup. The main camera is actually innovative in the fact that on a hardware level, you're looking at a dual aperture that switches between the widest end, which is 1.5 aperture, which is the biggest that you can find on a smartphone right now, to the most shallowest end, which is 2.4, which is going to give you a much sharper image, and it puts everything in focus, so it gives that versatility. You've got the telephoto zoom lens as well. This camera is capable of shooting all the way up to 4K 60 frames a second, and for me, as someone that's a video junkie, I love this feature. And also you've got the super slow motion mode, which is at 720p 960 frames a second, that you can do 20 times on one continuous burst mode, which is phenomenal. The image is a bit soft, but it's one feature that's there that you can actually use as a party trick to actually show off to people. Now, is the dual aperture a gimmick? To some extent, it could be. The final end result is something that really matters. What we're actually toting with the f1.5 aperture is phenomenal low light performance, and it's something that it doesn't disappoint. I really do like the low light performance that's there, although I wish in some cases when it comes to the color temperature and the color rendition at nighttime that it would be a little bit better. The images during the day are great. The selfie camera, which is an f1.7 aperture, 8 megapixel camera with autofocus, it's also not bad, but it's not the Pixel 2 good. That I have to admit. The point and shoot king for photography is the Pixel 2, but the versatility that you get in terms of the 2x optical zoom with optical image stabilization is something that is phenomenal. And there's so much that I could talk about this camera, but definitely check out one of my ultimate camera comparisons, which I will link in the description below, and see for yourself what is capable about the S9 Plus. One thing I will say that I've really enjoyed in terms of the additional feature is the dual speakers. The dual stereo speakers on here is absolutely phenomenal. I really like the fact that it went from zero to hero. The difference from what you had from the S8 and even the Galaxy Note 8 until now is absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely amazing when you're using it for content consumption, and definitely I do wish it was front facing, but using the bottom and the top earpiece to be able to do that is absolutely great. It's a good way around it, and I think Apple starting this trend with the iPhone 7 Plus and the 7 really shows a good use of space, and I'm glad Samsung adopted this. And on top of that, the 3.5mm headphone jack is still available. Hurrah. It's one of the key features that it's funny to actually call it a feature nowadays in 2017 or 2018 in terms of a feature, and I'm glad it's still here. For those that actually need it, this is something that you can revert back to and it's a great standard, and it's not something that should be removed, and that's just my personal opinion. So credit to Samsung for keeping it in their flagship phone. All the lifestyle features that are best known for Samsung are still here. Micro SD card, IP68, wireless charging, the headphone jack, all these things are kept. There is almost no compromise on a hardware level with this phone, which is one of the things I love about this in terms of complete package. Let's touch on one thing that has been the biggest caveat for me using this phone: battery life. Battery life, to me personally, having an Exynos model has not impressed me. And I did not expect that to be the case. It was one of the things I was worried about the Galaxy Note 8 when it came to battery, because it had a smaller battery capacity of 3,300. And you'll think with the newer processor from the Snapdragon 845, my particular one is the Exynos 9810, with the efficiencies that come with it, I've not seen it. And this is the biggest problem I have. Battery life on the S9 Plus has just not been great for me, and it's just something that is disappointing. Samsung used to innovate. From the S7 Edge, it just seems like what's happened to the Note 7 is something that's held them back. I definitely would have loved to see a 4,000 mAh battery in there with better optimization. The battery life for me left me wanting, and it was a big disappointment, I will not lie to you. Now overall, you've seen many S9 and S9 Plus reviews out there. I wanted to just give you my overall run and meal of what my impressions have been with this phone. I've been happy with this phone. This is probably one of the most complete phones that you're gonna have on the market in the flagship space. It is expensive. I do not like the price at $869. I just don't think smartphones need to be priced that high, and it's something that I hope they change. Is it something that's gonna happen? I don't know. But the price does give you the most complete packages on the market. The battery life for me has not been great, but a complete package in terms of media, content consumption, everything else in terms of the display, the headphone jack, all the intangibles have been absolutely phenomenal. I am more of a Note person, but if you're an S person, this is gonna be the best phone you're gonna get from Samsung this year so far. But what does that leave for any other release? And is it still worth your money? Let me know in the description below. What is your daily driver? Is it a flagship killer? What are you using on a day-to-day basis? And what do you like or don't like? And is it something that you were expecting more? Because I think this is the year of refinement for Samsung, and this is something that shows with the S9 and S9 Plus. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my overview. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, hit that subscribe button. And also, when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, the notification squad, so you do not miss any new content that is posted on the Lover of Tech channel. Again, follow me on social media, hit me up on Twitter, links are in the description below. I'll be more than happy to engage, and I will definitely catch you next time.